Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Bree. Guys, don't get on me. Do not come for me. Yo, I have been booked and busy these last few weeks, so I am so sorry for getting these recaps so late. But y'all definitely gonna get episode 10 right now, Tommy's Getaway part 2, and you definitely going to get episode 11 because we're going to talk about that. So I'm going to hit y'all back with these back-to-back recaps. I am so sorry again, y'all. But thank you so much for tuning in to another one of my episode recaps. And as always, I'm here to discuss Ready to Love, Season 9, Episode 10, titled Tommy's Getaway, Part 2. All right, y'all, let's get into it. So we start this episode off with Vanessa. You know, as we were left on a cliffhanger on the last episode, so we don't know who's going home. So basically, we start off with her, and she says that the person who is not ready to love is William. So, I kind of figured it would be William because Alonzo, I kind of knew wasn't going anywhere because basically everybody knows that's kind of Patrice's top connection. And then LaRon, that's kind of Maya's only connection now. And I think the women were turned off by William for being in that whole text message debacle. So I think that kind of like turned them off from him even more. So I kind of figured he was going to be the one to leave. But anyway, so William says, you know, he shouldn't have been the one to go home. And, you know, he says his goodbyes to everybody and he was out. So next, Tommy tells the men that this week they have the power now, and he lets everyone know that trust and vulnerability are the two factors that they all need to delve into this week. And then he also tells them that he has a surprise for them that night. So anyway, everybody's just kicking it still at the house. You know, they're playing games, you know, and then they're getting ready to have, I think it was a crawfish boil or something. So it's just crazy. So Chaz says he feels like he needs to make a decision soon on who was solid for him. But, you know, it's been hard for him because he is juggling a lot. Yeah, I bet you are, Chaz. You're juggling like 4 women. Anyway, I ain't even going to go there. So next, we see Justin and Regina outside talking, and he lets her know that she holds a special place in his heart. And it was cute just seeing them chit-chat. Now, I thought those two were going to connect more because when he first came onto the show, they kind of were. And I kind of liked them together. So I don't know what fizzled out. And it just seems to me Regina was just so stuck on Chaz. I don't know if she forgot about Justin. But Justin, you know, was saying that she's cool and I guess she'll always, you know, hold a special place in his heart. So I don't know why that kind of fizzled out. Anyway, in a new scene, we see Vanessa and Chaz talking inside of the house, right? So they start talking and he lets her know that he's not trying to mislead anyone. And she lets him know that 4 women now are confused by him. And somehow he found a way to add more women to his plate. And so I'm kind of like, I don't know, this scene kind of annoyed me, to be honest, because, okay, yeah, Vanessa, we're on a dating show here. I know we're getting down to the wire, but you need to chill. Like, I kind of wouldn't have let Chaz know anything of how I was feeling. Y'all know how I am. I said, I ain't letting nobody know I feel some type of way. Like, I'm just not doing it. Anyway, so it just seems to me like, you know, Vanessa wants attention from him. And he says in his confessional that he now is skeptical of her because he wants more emotional maturity from her. So next, we learn from Regina that Chaz stormed past by her and Maya, I think when they were in the house, and they have no clue what happened. So Vanessa comes to over where they're at because they're just outside talking. And she lets them know about the conversation she had with Chaz earlier about, you know, him adding more women to his roster and all this other, you know, stuff. So next, we see Justin and Mika. They're enjoying their time together, and they're in Justin's room. And so they're just playing around, cuddling on the bed and just laughing, having a good time. So it seems like these two are getting close. I don't know. I didn't see that coming either. It's so funny to me with these shows because one minute you think this couple is like bound to hit it off, and then later during the episode or even during the season, you see that they're not. So sometimes I'm wondering, I feel like the production company is like editing out way too many things that we don't see, and they're kind of like combining bits and pieces that kind of don't make sense to the viewer. So I don't know, y'all. So anyway, as I said, everybody's about to have this crawfish boil and everybody starts eating. They're outside at this table. But there's two people missing, which are Patrice and Chaz. And we learn that they're in the house. So Patrice was in the house because she was feeling kind of down about William leaving. And I guess she just wanted a moment to herself. But anyway, after she gets herself together, she goes into Chaz's room and is like, what's going on? What's wrong? So he's just letting her know, like, Patrice, I just need a moment right now. So he lets her know that he wants to go home and he just wants to be around people who love him. So all of a sudden, y'all, Chaz leaves the house. Like, he was out. He was just like, peace out. I'm up out of here. Y'all have a good time. It was nice knowing y'all, but I gotta go. So I guess the pressure is getting to Chaz. Maybe he's starting to see his little slip-ups because, I don't know, you telling all the women the same thing and now they're all talking. So I don't know if he don't want his spot blown up somehow. But clearly he can't handle it, and so he goes home. So Patrice goes outside to where everyone is at, and she lets them know that Chaz left. So everybody's like, really? Okay, what's going on? But anyway, they all go into the house, and they all start dancing, just having like a little party in the house. And, it was cute to see that. And so we see Alonzo. We see Alonzo go into Patrice's room, and then we just see Justin and Mika cuddling in bed together. So, yeah, that's pretty much the end of their trip, their little getaway. What is that, Tommy's getaway? So anyway, in a new scene, we see the guys. They meet each other and Tommy at a lounge, and guess who walks in? Chaz. So Chaz does show up. So Chaz tells Tommy that he left the trip early because he had 3 strong connections and was hoping, 1 to 2 of them would drop so that, he could just focus on the one connection. But however, when he had a chance to speak to Patrice, it now became 4 connections, and he's just not used to having all these women. I don't really buy that, to be honest. Y'all know how I felt about Chaz. You know how I even still feel about him. I've been saying this from episode 2. And what did I tell y'all? You know what? No. I need one of y'all, at least one of you guys, comment down below. Didn't I predict this in episode 2 when we were first introduced to Chaz? I just picked it up. I need y'all to let me know in the comments and go back to episode 2's recap, and y'all gonna hear what I said about Chaz. So I was right. So anyway, as he's telling Tommy this, he says that, he just needed a moment to think because it's just been very overwhelming for him. So Tommy's like, okay, I guess. That's what he was saying, right? So anyway, LaRon tells Tommy that, during the trip, he got to spend more time with Maya, and he feels that she's made for him. So I'm like, okay, LaRon. Then Justin says that Mika and him, they got locked in on the trip, and now he sees her in a different element, and he feels now that he can build with her. So it's like, okay. And then Alonzo says that it's easy with Patrice and that they do also go real deep. So I think they have probably real deep conversations. I just think it's not, well, if it is caught on camera, they're not showing it. They're editing it out. But yeah, he said they're, getting close, and I guess their conversations are real deep. So then all the guys, they start talking about who is not for them. And actually, during the men's lounge, a lot of them said that Rashina was not, for them. And I can understand that because I feel like when Rashina gets locked on somebody, especially someone who she really likes, I think she only has tunnel vision and it's just eyes only for that person. And I think because her doing that, she kind of was putting probably the guys in the friend zone and just not giving them a chance. But yeah, now it's kind of to her detriment because the guys are saying like she's not for them. So we'll see. So basically, well, I mean, to give it plain and straight, the guys basically vote to, say that Rashina's not ready to love. So Tommy tells Chaz, look, you need to take Rashina out on a date. And if you don't feel any type of connection, then you have to let her know that she's not ready to love. So yeah, Tommy's like, if you feeling her, I guess you can stay. I don't know. He didn't actually say that. Then he's like, if you don't feel anything, you have to let her know she's not ready to love. Because basically the guys voted to, remove her. So next we see Chaz taking Rashina out on a date. And of course, y'all, they're at a restaurant. You already know my little rant about that, so we ain't gonna go there. But I think when it comes to conversations like this, maybe it's best that they are sitting down instead of doing an activity. So anyway, Rashina comes in. You could tell her body language was off when she met up with Chaz. It really wasn't warm and inviting like how she usually is, and we're about to find out why. So anyway, Rashina tells him that they haven't talked, and he says, well, I did message you. So she lets him know that for the rest of the trip that everybody was at, after he left, she tells him that everyone chit-chatted and, they all enjoyed the rest of the trip. So she says, I feel like something is up because I can feel it and I can tell. So already, y'all, Rashina is on the defensive, right? So she asks Chaz, what's your headspace with this process, with me and with all of it? So he says, well, you were one of my top connections and you're a wonderful woman, but we had a lounge today. So before Chaz can get anything out of his mouth, really, she interrupts him and she lets him know, she's like, well, you've been my strongest connection throughout this entire process. And I felt like there were some things that were pretty dramatic. And I didn't like the fact that you just left like that. So Chaz says, well, what would you rather have me done? And she says, well, I would have rather you stayed or reached out, after you left. So he's like, well, me leaving has nothing to do with you. So, Rashina's kind of getting, a little attitude or whatever. So Chaz says, this process, you're going to have to see the bad and the ugly. And she's like, yeah, and that was enough for me.
I told you it was a legitimate mistake.
So I'm like, Rashina, what are you talking about? Like, girl, you kind of can't be in something, in a relationship with someone if you don't see certain sides to them. When they're angry, like, how do they handle conflict? When they're sad, when they feel overwhelmed. In this case, Chaz was overwhelmed, so he decided to leave. For you, and let me just continue talking because you're going to see why I'm about to say what I'm about to say. So anyway, Chaz tells her, why are you being so guarded? And he's like, I don't know why you're acting like this because you don't even know what I'm about to say. So they start talking, and of course, Rashina just has this attitude. Then all of a sudden, y'all, she's talking about she's going to self-eliminate herself today.
Hell no.
And so I'm like, you know what, Rashina, please. And so Chaz says, were you? Because I don't even believe that. I believe she came up with that at the last minute because she felt, oh gosh, I'm here. Chaz about to let me know that I'm not ready to love. And she wanted to beat him to the punch because she doesn't want to feel embarrassed that she got voted off this week. So I guess she was like, well, I might as well go out with some dignity and I'm just going to self-eliminate. That's all that was. And so then Rashina says, well, I think you're a great guy, but we're not a connection. And I'm like, Rashina, stop, because a few days ago, you was all over Chaz and he was your top connection. And now, because you're mad because 1, he left, 2, he didn't say anything to you about leaving, and 3, even when everybody arrived home, he still didn't reach out to you. So you're mad about that. So, and I think also too, Rashina didn't want to be embarrassed on TV by being eliminated. So that's why she even made that up. I don't believe she had planned on self-eliminating this whole time. I just don't. Oh my gosh. Anyway, y'all, there was nothing more to it. She basically said, I'm self-eliminating. Peace out. I'm out of here. So she does, wish him well, and she leaves. And scene. So yeah, y'all, that's the end of the episode. Rashina supposedly is self-eliminated because she was, nervous about being eliminated from the men's lounge. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna give this episode let's give it I'll give it a 7. It wasn't really nothing much going on in this episode, to be honest. So yeah, I wasn't too impressed. But anyway, I was just annoyed at the end because I'm like, Rashina, you came in there with an attitude. Then all of a sudden you're going to eliminate yourself. You're only doing that because you didn't want Chaz to tell you that you're not ready to love. I guess you thought it was going to be embarrassing, but I'm like, girl, you're on the show. What did you think was going to happen? But anyway, that's just I don't know. That's just my something. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode recap. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you can be informed whenever I upload a new video. Also, too, comment below. Tell me your thoughts on this episode. What did you guys think about Rashina and Chaz's interaction and their exchange? Like, do you guys feel how I feel, that you feel as though Rashina just self-eliminated because she felt like she was about to get voted off, and I guess she wanted to beat him to it? I don't know. You guys tell me how y'all feel. Tell me what you think about, like, Chaz just abruptly leaving like that. I don't know, y'all. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And of course, before you go, I love to say a prayer over you. And so here it goes. So may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face towards you and give you his peace and protection. This is my prayer over your life. In Jesus' name, amen. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you in my next recap. And yeah, bye.